Hello everybody, Sir Phobos here, back in our Survive and Thrive Subnautica series. I've been very busy collecting materials, expanding our base, doing all sorts of things like that, out exploring the other biomes, collecting fragments and getting blueprints. And the next, like I talked about in the last episode, the next big thing we're going to do is make the Cyclops, which is going to be our giant submersible craft that is going to make us super safe exploring. I don't think anything can actually mess with it other than crushing pressure. But before we get to seeking out all the materials, you can see I already have things marked for easy exploration. We're going to talk about a couple blueprints that are going to really help you thrive while you're out gathering your own components and getting ready to do these things. The first one is going to be the Stasis Rifle. It's one of the first set of blueprints you can get alongside of the Sea Moth. You find them, the fragments of the Stasis Rifle, in the kelp forest, the really lush green areas with the big stalks of creeper vine where all the stalkers live. You find it in that area. Let's see if we can't find that here. And it takes 3 or 4 scans of that to get the blueprints. Now, once you have the blueprints, I should turn my lights off. You'll get the Stasis Rifle, which is a very, very handy tool. You can see that if you shoot it out, it's going to create this stasis pod, and it will freeze anything trapped inside of it. So you can see Mr. Stalker here is trapped. He can't hurt us. If we wanted to, we could whip out the knife and try to cut him up. But we're not going to mess with him like that. Eventually, the bubble will start to shrink and deteriorate. You can see it started to shrink, and he was able to get free. You can just shoot it like that, and it'll shoot a small bubble. See, it's very slow, so it's hard to lead the shot. And it will, when it hits something or travels a certain distance, it will explode like that. But you can charge it up by holding the right trigger, and it will do a huge bubble. Now, of course, this uses energy. Yeah, you're gonna try and get me, but you can't, you big ugly. So it uses energy, of course. So it takes batteries, but it ends up being one of the most useful tools in your arsenal, defensive-wise. And the big thing that I do with the Stasis Rifle is I use it to collect things. So yeah, say there was something. So I want to get that. I want to get that salvage right there. That's important. I need that. So I'm going to shoot the Stasis Rifle down at it. I'm going to swim down to it and pick it up. Now, if that stalker wanted to mess with me, see, there you go. See, he flies into it. He gets stuck into the stasis bubble. So it's going to make you incredibly safe while you're out collecting. Let's talk about what it actually takes to build the darn thing here real quick. Let me just swim away from those guys. It takes an advanced wiring kit, which is going to be the one difficult component. See, the Stasis Rifle, advanced wiring kit, a battery, and silicone. So the battery and silicone are very easy, very common components that we know how to make. Oh, there's this. Oh, that's just broken. I thought that was a stalker tooth. The advanced wiring kit, though, which, oops, did I just accidentally stuffed a new power cell in there. Gosh darn it! I did not mean to do that. The advanced wiring kit is going to be a computer chip, which you need a piece of silver for, and then 2 pieces of gold. So as long as you're diligent and you're out there collecting, you'll be able to. You should be able to make it no problem. I remember that gold and silver are found in the sandstone outcroppings, which you can find in the kelp forest. You can find here in the red grass area, the grassy plateau is what it's called. So quiet. Yeah, and once you make it, it becomes one of the most useful tools in gathering things. So there's little biter fish out here. There's little or the sand sharks that can come up and get you. And this is what you do: you charge it up, you shoot a protective dome around you, you swim into it, and you collect your fragments. makes it real easy. You can use it if the bad fish are trying to charge you and stuff. Like you saw how slow it shot though when I was just trying to hit that stalker over there. So it's not super reliable if you're being attacked. But as long as you're by something, you can shoot, next to you, get inside of it, and you'll be safe. And then while you're in there, you can charge it up and shoot a bigger bubble, immediately afterwards. And you can keep doing that, until you run out of battery, of course. Like any tool, when it runs out of battery, if you have one in your inventory, you can just hit R and it will swap it out. This will trap the sea moth too. You can see I'm actually stuck inside the sea moth now. It won't swim while it's in the stasis bubble, and then it just slowly collapses. So yeah, it's something I highly recommend picking up. And once you do, it'll make getting other fragments and other blueprints really, really easy. One other thing though, it does work on the biggest fish. It does work on the Reaper. You can stop the Reaper from killing you if you can hit it with that. Yeah, I I don't think we're gonna run out there and find one to test it, but trust me, it does work. You just have to be careful. And then once you do have the Stasis Rifle, like I said, it makes it easier to find the other blueprints to collect fragments. And the next one I recommend getting is the Modification Station. Now these fragments, you're going to be able to find them in the Grassy Plateau biome, which is that red grass area. They'll just be scattered about. I think the propulsion cannon's in there too. But the Modification Station is the one you want. And what this does is it lets you upgrade your some of your basic survival items. So like you can upgrade your survival knife to the hardened blade or the thermal blade. Your standard knife has 100 swings in it before it breaks. So if you look here at my survival knife, it's at 3% durability. So it's about to go. But as long as but it's the same one I've had since the very beginning of the game. So as long as you're not going crazy, it'll last you. All the hardened blade is it has increased durability, so it'll last a lot longer. But you use a diamond to do that. The thermal blade, you attach a battery to it. It makes it this cool like lightsaber dagger, which I think has decreased durability, but it cooks fish when you cut them. So if you go out and you come across your Gary fish, you can hit it with the thermal blade, and you'll get a cooked portion of fish. So whatever, yeah, it's kind of a gimmicky thing. If you want to do it, great. Knock yourself out. But if you don't have the material sitting around, I wouldn't worry that much about doing it. The air tank ones are actually very nice. You can make the plasteel tank or the high capacity tank. The high capacity tank, which is real easy to do, will just double the capacity of your air tank. Normally it's 30 seconds of air. High capacity tank is 60. Real useful to have, especially if you do a lot of just swimming around, or if you're going into the wrecks or deep sea diving, whatever. It gives you a ton of air. But the big thing is with air tanks and the high capacity tanks is they slow you down. The more you have, the slower you go. The plasteel tank is an extra light tank, so it still has only 30 seconds of air, but it's lighter. It won't decrease your swim speed. And those are actually the ones I went with. I ended up building 2 tanks, and they're both extra light, so I don't have any decreased movement when swimming. You can make fins. You can make the Ultra Glide fins, which again will increase your swim speed. Real easy to do. Or you can do the swim charge fins, which are amazing. And these are the ones that I would actually recommend getting. Like, you can kind of forsake everything else, but for thriving, the swim charge fins are just amazing. So you attach a wiring kit to your basic fins, and it will charge whatever tool you have in your hand while swimming. So let's head outside here real quick. See, I got my Stasis Rifle. It's at 71% energy. Swimming around. Hey, it's at 72. Keep swimming around. Hey, it's at 73. So basically, whenever you're out, screwing around, collecting things, just take any tool that you have that takes batteries, hold it in your hands while swimming, and it will charge it back up. It is extraordinarily useful. It'll save you a ton in making batteries. So like your welder, your flashlight, I think the laser cutter, anything like that will get charged while you're swimming. Those are obviously the fins I'm wearing. So I highly recommend it. It makes things really, really easy. Not having to worry about running out of batteries in those tools. And then there is an upgrade for the propulsion cannon if you get those blueprints. It's called the repulsion cannon. It stops letting you pick things up, but it allows you to shoot things very far away instead. I don't know how useful it is against like the medium-sized fish. I think it pushes those away. So as a defensive weapon, it could be useful if they're getting charged, but it takes up the same amount of space. It takes up 4 slots as the Stasis Rifle, and I feel like the Stasis Rifle is just that much more useful. I do have one. The regular propulsion cannon 2 is interesting. You can pick things up from a distance, little things, and then you can shoot them. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not. it's fun to play with, but it's not super vital for survival. I definitely recommend getting the Stasis Rifle, and then the swim charge fins, and that will just make life that much easier for you when you're trying to survive and gather and everything down here in Subnautica. So yeah, in particular, like with the Stasis Rifle, I have a ton of blueprints now just from gathering components and stuff like that, and being able to pick them up without care. When sand sharks are swimming around, or a bone shark is charging you, and you're just able to sit there and scan without worry free. It makes it real easy. So yeah, but in the next episode we are building the Cyclops. As you see, I already have materials scouted out, and we're gonna head there, and I'll show you where to find everything you need to make the plasteel and the enameled glass, and then we'll build the Cyclops itself and get ready for all kinds of nautical adventures then. So I think that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you found it helpful, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.